Good afternoon, everybody. I'm just getting ready to share my screen. Bear with me a second. Okay. So, good afternoon. As Jane said, my name's Siobhan Withers. I work in the Southwark construction team. We build the new homes for Southwark Council, and Adam is going to be doing this presentation with me. Adam is Southwark Repairs Manager. So I'll just get started with the presentation now. So a former leader of Southwark Council used to always say, Councillor Peter John, that Southwark was the best borough in the best city, in the best country in the world. And I think a lot of us who work for Southwark Council feel that way about it. It really is a fantastic borough. So we're an inner city London borough. We span across the River Thames from, excuse me, along the South Bank and all the way down to Crystal Palace in the south.
Got it. Right.
Some of our key features are the Shard and Tate Modern, Borough Market and Tower Bridge in the north. So that's an incredibly diverse borough. Our residents speak over 120 languages. And an interesting point to note that in 2012, when we hosted the Olympics in London, that every single language of all of the competing nations was spoken by somebody who lived in the borough of Southwark. We have large communities from Africa, Latin America, China, and many other places in the world. And we have a very high number of young people in the borough under the age of 35, it's about 57%. So Southwark Council has 7 fairer future values that guide everything that we do as a council to support the residents of the borough. So we're all committed to treat residents as if they're a valued member of our own family, to be honest, open and accountable in everything that we do, to work for everyone to realise their own potential, to spend money as if it was from our own pocket. We aim to make Southwark a place to be proud of, and we always work to make Southwark more equal and just and stand against all forms of discrimination and racism. Now, just something about the Southwark construction team. So one of the apprenticeship roles is within the Southwark construction team that we're talking about today. So our team was formed in April 2022. Before then, there were several teams across the council that was responsible for building new homes. So it brought them all together into one team. The role of the team is to increase the council homes, the number of council homes in the borough. So we have already delivered 2,500 new council homes, and our next target is to build another 1,000 in the next 2 years. The team has won several awards for our new build project, so the teams that this team has been built from. Most notably, the Best Development Team in London 2021 at the Inside Housing Awards. And the Mayor of London regularly praises us for the schemes that we're delivering. And most recently, he has acknowledged that we are the best performing borough in terms of the number of new homes that have been built by London Council. And now I'm going to hand you over to Adam to talk about Southwark Repairs.
Hello, thanks for coming today. My name's Adam Dennett. I am the business manager for Southwark Repairs. What does that role do? I basically deliver the operational delivery of our repair service for Southwark Council. Quite a big task for quite a big landlord in quite a big borough. Really, as it says on the screen, we repair, manage and care for 55 council homes across the borough, and we are one of the biggest social landlords in London, if not England. So it is a big responsibility we have. We have about 120 frontline repair operatives, which are mixed from various trades, from carpenters, plumbers, electricians to multi-skilled operatives. As we said there, we cover anything from handy persons, adaptations, plumbing and specialised leagues team. And we're even starting to move out with specialised damp and mould teams within our service. And it really is an exciting time to be part of the repair service, where we are sort of trying to change and adapt our service to meet the local and resident and housing needs in our borough. And it's a really exciting time of merging our two services between Southwark Repairs and Southwark Construction, and working together to really get involved in not just the maintenance, which the Southwark Repair Service do, because we are typically a maintenance provider. So that is all the general repairs in your homes which need fixing. We will deliver that, but also liaising with the Southwark Construction Department to get our operatives, to get our staff involved in the new builds. And that's something we haven't done before. So it's really exciting that we've got the opportunity now to go on site, go to these big new build projects with our staff. They will learn how these new build premises are constructed, see how they're constructed, take that back to their workforce. And when the properties get built and lived in, we'll have the knowledge and understanding to repair them. And that is something which is fantastic for the service, something which is fantastic for operatives to have that skill and knowledge and understanding. And as it says there on the screen, we have over 100 operatives, and we are a 24-hour, 365 days a year service. So it never stops in the repair service. Next page, please. So what's our culture like in the repair service, and what's it like being an apprentice? I'm really passionate about this, and because I used to be an apprentice. I started when I was 16 years old. I did my work experience at Southwark Council. I got a job as an apprentice electrician at Southwark Council, and now I've worked my way through Southwark Council, who have supported me through further education, further learning. I've done external college courses, HNCs, and even a degree in building service engineering. So the apprenticeship is the first step, I believe, at Southwark Council. And if you really wanted a job which sort of gives something back, we've got that here at Southwark. You've got a pathway here. If you want to work for it, if you want to achieve something big, you can get it here at Southwark. And there's a lot of people in Southwark Council who are senior managers who have started as an apprentice. So it really is a good place to start your career. So some of the things about the culture we have a large apprenticeship community. That community is across all the council, so you might be liaising with apprentices in adult social care, in finance, or other trade apprentices within Southwark Repairs. But that's so you can get a good understanding, a community to talk to, and that's ongoing. We want to develop our community within our apprenticeship. Now we're getting out the other side of COVID, we can really start sort of ramping up our community, our apprentice experience. So we've got a learning culture, and we have an award ceremony every year, and that's been really good. We've tried to enter that every year, and we've been really successful each year of our award ceremony, which we do internally and external award ceremonies as well for our apprenticeships. Next page, please. And this is a little bit about the awards we've undertaken. So we have an apprenticeship award ceremony every year, celebrating our current and previous apprentices, as well as managers and teams who support their apprentices. And that's really important, that bit, because it's not just about the apprentices getting on, going to college, doing their core skills, learning, but it's about the support we give the apprentices whilst they're on the job, learning and their experience. It's really important that the apprentices can get the best support by the best managers in the best teams, because that's only going to progress them. So I'm really passionate in my service that we do that, and we're sort of building a new structure here in the repair service, which adds additional support for apprentices coming to work for Southwark Repairs, and that is going to benefit their learning and their experience if they're on a 2-year apprenticeship, 3-year apprenticeship and forward. So there's something really exciting to be part of a team, and part of a team which wants to push their apprentices forward. And there's an example there of Danny, who won Apprentice of the Year at the London-wide awards in 2019, and he's now one of our repair officers in the repair service. Next page, please.
Okay.
So a little bit onto the main part of the apprenticeships we have on offer. And this is really the nitty gritty here. We've got 4 really good apprenticeships on offer, something which I'm really passionate about, really proud to be supporting in Southwark Repairs and Southwark Construction. We wasn't able to recruit any apprentices because of COVID and that situation was in. Like I said before, we're out of COVID or coming out of that COVID sort of pandemic, and we're trying to get back to normal. So some of the trade apprentices which have on offer, which I'm supporting from Southwark Repairs, are the electrical apprenticeship, the plumbing apprenticeship, and the property maintenance apprenticeship. So you might be asking, what is that? What does that mean? Well, typically your electrical apprenticeship and plumbing apprenticeship and property maintenance apprenticeship, they are trade apprenticeships. So you will typically go out, you'll go to people's properties. You'll have a mentor, you'll go out in a van, you'll learn trade skills as a plumber, electrician, you'll be going to college weekly to learn all the core syllabus at the college to support your learning. And it's a really good experience to be learning the core trade and be able to give something back to the residents of Southwark. And that's what you'll be doing as part of this apprenticeship. You know, we have one of the biggest housing stocks. You going out there as an apprentice electrician, you won't just be learning for yourself, you'll be supporting the residents of Southwark by giving back, by fixing their issues they have, you know, making their house and homes a proud place to live. And that's what we really want to get the best for our residents. So Siobhan, did you want to talk a little bit about the quantity surveying technician apprenticeship?
Okay, so just to give a little bit of context about how this role will fit into the team. So you will be studying towards your quantity surveying and technician qualification, but your work within the team, our team is it's made up of project managers and assistant project managers, and also there's a program management office that provides support to those teams. So the apprenticeship role will be part of the project management teams. So you'll work with the project managers on a daily basis, monitoring the right from the very beginning, from when we think, oh, here's a site, can we build on it? We go out to design it, we go out to planning permission, bring it on site, monitor it all the way through the build process to the end when we get it back as a completed building from the contractors, and then manage it through the defects period, which is the year afterwards, where anything that isn't quite right gets fixed. Hopefully there isn't very much of that. They generally come back pretty well developed. So you will be part of that all the way through, and supporting the teams on financial management, budget management, the planning permission process. Basically everything that they do, you will be part of. And we will manage it so that there are specific requirements of your apprenticeship of certain types of experience that you need to have at certain times, and we'll make sure that happens in a structured way. So that's that from me.
Just to add to that, like I said previously, it's really is exciting times, because as Siobhan said there, Siobhan mentioned about when the new builds come out of a defect liability period, and what that basically means is when a contractor builds the new homes, they have typically a year to, if anything goes wrong with it, they will go and fix it. After that year, it comes back to us to manage, it comes back to the client, which is the council. And that's where we come in with the trade apprenticeship. So we'll be going to the new builds and making good any repairs which are needed. So that's why the link up here is really good. And like I said before, these apprenticeships will be getting involved in them new builds. They will be going on site, and these are going to be big sites. So it's an all-round experience really, because a repair apprenticeship, it's not site-based as in a typical big site you would experience if you're walking down the road. Repairs are going into people's properties. Then you've got the other side of it, which is the new build constructions, where you will be going on a site. So it's really got a really good sort of a really good broad range of experience and skills these apprenticeships offer. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Siobhan and Adam. That was great. And they, you know, they are exciting times and really good opportunities, as you say, for progression and, you know, pathways to a fantastic career. So does anyone now have any questions for Siobhan or for Adam about anything to do with the apprenticeships that are on offer? Anything you'd like to ask? Now is your chance. Oh, there's some hands up. So Lisa, should we go to you first? I saw your hand first. Do you want to take yourself off mute? Go ahead, Lisa. What's your question? Can you hear me, Lisa? I'm not sure that she can. Fatai, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, do you want to tell us what your question is?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah. So I wanted to ask the question. Wait, can you hear me clearly?
Natalie?
Dante, can you hang on? Is that you? Can you hang on 2 seconds and let Fatai ask his question, and then we'll come to you, Dante. Thank you. Go ahead,
Thank
Fatai.
you. Thank you, Jane. My question is from my own perspective. I'm currently working within the construction, doing demolition work, but I've been looking to do an apprenticeship so that I could do progression in terms of build a career within construction. And you know, the quantity surveyor springs well to my ears, and you know, it's something where I've been looking to do for many years, but I've had the opportunity to get an apprenticeship course. Now, my motto is how are we going to get the chance and the opportunity, especially if someone like myself that is already experiencing working within construction, how can I gain that apprenticeship place with Southwark?
How does he go about getting onto apprenticeship?
Okay.
Did you hear my question?
Yeah, I heard it, Fatai. And I think if you can hang on another few minutes, Charlie is going to join in a minute and talk a bit about the entry requirements and what kind of things, your qualifications and skills you're going to need at which level. But if you're interested in the quantity surveying technician, then, you know, you're going to need a certain level of qualification to get in. But we're going to talk about that in a minute, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
All right. Dante, have you got a question?
Hi. So I'm currently working on site in Bermondsey, and I have my level 1 MVQ and 2 in plumbing. How long would the apprenticeship last for? Because I have those qualifications.
If you already have
Adam, can you answer that question?
Yeah, so the plumbing, we would be looking at new candidates who haven't got that experience and that level already. But typically the plumbing apprenticeship is a level 3 apprenticeship, which is 3 years.
Okay, so would that mean I'm not eligible for the apprenticeship?
Not on the plumbing one, because we'd be looking to take people on without them training skills already or experience.
Okay.
There might be something to a higher level for yourself that could be available. I think that was Dante speaking. So Dante, it might be worth. I will leave our contact details in the chat option in a moment, and then you can get in contact with us, and we could potentially look at other programs that would be suitable at a different level.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, yeah, okay. We can put you in touch with Charlie, Dante, after the session. Julie has put in the chat a question about what happens to the apprentices when they complete. What's the kind of progression routes?
So for the trade particular apprenticeships, I know there's a slightly potential different route for the surveying one. I'll let Siobhan talk about that. But for the trade apprenticeships, you know, there's never any guarantee of a job at the end. However, what I would like to say is all of our apprenticeships, including myself, who have shown that they can deliver at college, put the effort and time in, have got a job at the end. And there's always there's two chains of thoughts with recruitment in general, and definitely about apprenticeships. One minute is, you know, we want to provide apprenticeships for local people, and we do that, and there's a part of that about upskilling people, providing local people with the skills to go and get jobs in outside the council, which is fantastic. There's also the other side of that where we need to do our workforce planning, where we know we've got to keep building our in-house services, and we've still got that journey to undertake over the next 3 to 5 years. So we are still building our workforce for our trade operatives, and we've got some very ambitious ideas over the next 5 years about where we see ourselves having that in-house trade capacity. So, you know, I'm not going to guarantee any of our apprentices a job at the end, but that's what we're building to. We want to build that in to say, we've got these 4, 5, 6 apprentices working now. There's a job at the end of them. We built that in our workforce planning for 3 years' time. So hopefully, you know, the apprentices which we recruit will carry on with their college and have a good career at Southwark as part of their apprenticeship, and there will be a pathway for them at the end. And it's like I said in the presentation, there's real evidence of many people, senior managers at the council, who started as an apprenticeship and gone into another role at the council, and now, you know, managing departments like myself. I hope that answers your question.
And I'll just add, I mean, for Southwark construction team, you know, apprenticeships and having apprenticeships in our team is a new thing for us. But what we will do is we will work with people as they reach the end of their apprenticeship, and with the support of our centralised HR apprenticeship team to help people to find employment afterwards, whether that be within our team, elsewhere in the council, or with some of the contractors that we work with, because we work with a huge range of contractors on our new build schemes, and they will be recruiting as well. So if at the end of it you don't secure a role within the council, then there will be lots of other opportunities that we will support you to apply for as well.
Thanks, Siobhan, Adam. Another question in the chat from Blaine. He's asked, does he need a CSCS card if he wants to do the electrical? Does he need one before he starts?
No. So first and foremost, like I said, this is a new sort of well, Southwark Construction is a new department in the council, so this is totally a new idea we're trying to do about linking up departments with the new builds and the repairs section. So no, you will not need a CSCS card before you start the apprenticeship, but it is something we are building into the apprenticeship. So when you go on site, and you won't go on site straight away, obviously we want you to be grounded in the repair service first of all, learn some key competent skills, health and safety requirements, and then we'll put you through that CSCS training so you're ready to go on site for a placement of time.
Okay. Thanks, Adam. A couple more questions now in the chat. So if you've already got a trade level 2 apprenticeship in another discipline, in another trade, are you qualified to apply for a level 3?
By all means apply, yeah. It's a different trade, it's a different course, yeah, by all means.
Okay. And there was another one. Is the apprenticeship, will it be at the London living wage, or even the London living wage?
Yes. Yeah, we one of the Southwark apprenticeship scheme and the way apprentices start the trades role, it's very good. It always has been very good. Its starting salary is around £23,000 for a trade apprenticeship, which
compared to a lot is excellent, I have to say.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's really good.
Yeah. Another question, when would it start? When would the plumbing apprenticeship start?
we're looking, if the timetable goes to plan, which we believe it is so far, that it will start at the end of August, early September, ready for the college intake of the new year.
Okay. Any more questions? B, have you got a question?
Hello. Hello.
Can you hear me, B?
I can, yeah, but I think someone's trying to talk, so I'll wait until they're finished.
Okay. Oh, is it Cornelius? Is that you?
Yeah. Yes, the
Yeah.
Cornelius.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I can see electrical in apprenticeship. Does that mean you don't? What about somebody who got a level 2 electrical, please?
If you've got a level 2 already in electrical and you want to apply for the electrical apprenticeship already, I think we're looking for really to start fresh with that. I don't think we'd be taking anyone in to come in with already who's got the levels in that required skill.
All right.
Okay, so anyway, we can speak to Charlie as well in a minute about other options that are available to you if you've already, you know, at a certain level in a certain trade. And if it's not a council apprenticeship, there could be others that are available through the London South Bank University Group. So I'll expect Charlie can cover that for us in a minute. B, did you want to ask your question now?
Yes, thanks, Jane. Yeah, it's just to find out a bit more about Southwark Construction. I kind of know Southwark Building Design Services. I remember that. So I'm just wondering if it's a similar, or maybe not a similar, but a new and improved, you know, a new style version of that, and how it's made up, what the team is made up of.
Sorry, is that the construction team?
That's Southwark Construction.
So it's different from what Southwark Building Design Services was. I mean, I never knew that team particularly well, but I have an idea of what they did, and we are quite different. So we have we project manage the build projects. So the building design team had specific skill sets, like I think we had in-house quantity surveyors and in-house architects and people like that as part of it. Our team currently doesn't have that, but that's part of what we're looking to build in the future, and that's part of why we're running this apprenticeship program. So this current recruitment drive for the quantity surveying technician roles is just it's the first step, because we are a newly formed team, and we're going to build on it next year. And next year we're going to look at other skill sets that we want to provide apprenticeships in, and some more roles as well, looking to build some more in-house expertise in the council in the future.
Okay, perfect. I'm currently just starting a short course, a BIM, building information modeling course. So that would be the direction I'd want to maybe come in at. So if is that potentially something you'll be looking at next year?
Potentially. We haven't done the planning yet of what roles we might expand out into for next year, but potentially. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, B. Couple more questions and then we'll move on to Charlie. Are there any age restrictions for apprenticeship applications?
Nope. No, there's 0 age restrictions. You can be 16 is the minimum. So yes, there is a minimum age restriction. You have to be 16. But if you're talking about can I be an older apprenticeship? Yes, by all means. We have got a variety and a diverse sort of age group in the Southwark Repairs Service, and we have got that in our current apprentices at the moment as well. So there is no age restriction. You don't think these apprenticeships are just for school leavers, because they're not. You know, you could be 30, 40 years old and want to change your career path and then start an apprenticeship. You know, there's no reason why not. We've had that before, and we'd support that. And just something on some of the other, requirements for these roles. As part of our Southwark Stands Together initiative, we have an ambitious commitment to tackle sort of racial inequalities in our communities and workforce. So these applicants will particularly welcome applicants of members of the Black, Asian and ethnic minority communities, and particularly female applicants as well. We've been really it's a privilege to say we've got 3 female electrical apprentices in the repair section already, which is really good. There's a shortage of female trades in the trade industry, so we're trying to really promote the female sort of trade apprenticeship roles and push them on into full-fledged trained operatives. And we would support that. So we'd support any female applicants as well to don't think these trades are just male orientated, because they're not. Saying that as well, you know, anybody can apply for these. Anyone can apply for these roles. Talking about experience, you do not need to have, you know, already need to have electrical plumbing experience to apply for one of these roles. This is an apprenticeship role we are looking for with the trade apprenticeships. Some people might not have a great deal of experience, but we'll be looking at personalities, you know, your personality in your application form. It's a really big thing. You know, you might not have any work experience as such, but you know, put down some of the things you do as hobbies, put down some of the things you do in your clubs outside of school, college, work, them sort of things. You really show us your personality and how you potentially could work in a team, thinking about the service you're going to provide for. So a little bit of advice there for everyone.
Thank you, Adam. And I think you've just answered Andrew's question, who asked if you need to have any prior experience in
No.
Plumbing.
Yep, no.
If you want plumbing, no, you don't. And how many spots are available for each apprenticeship?
For a trade apprenticeship, so electrical, plumbing and property maintenance apprenticeship, there is 3 roles each, so 9 in total for the trades.
And we're looking for 4 for the quantity surveying technician.
Okay, fantastic. Right, has anyone else got any further questions? And you know that at any time you can always email me, or you can email Kerry, and we can, you know, we'll try and answer any questions that you have, or get you back in touch with Adam or Siobhan to answer any more questions. Okay, so we will therefore say thank you very much to Siobhan and Adam, and we will now move over to Charlie Clark, who is the Apprenticeship Relationship Manager at the London Southbank University Group. So over to you, Charlie.
Excellent. Thanks ever so much. Just making sure that you can see the correct slide. This is where my technology defeats me, unfortunately. I probably need to do an apprenticeship in technology, you see. Let's try that one more time. Excellent. There we go. Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. So my name's Charlie. I am an apprenticeship relationship manager at London Southbank University Group. Here to talk to you from the provider perspective within the apprenticeship for Southwark Council. Okay, it's really great to promote these opportunities, and there's lots of really good opportunities. I certainly didn't have these opportunities when I was growing up. So it's really good to see, and just to echo what the team has just said, these opportunities really are for everybody. In terms of the age question, our oldest apprentice at London Southbank University Group is actually 72. You know, so if you can meet the requirements of the apprenticeship, then apply. These apprenticeships are really for everybody, no matter what age. Got to be over 16. Background, you know, race, ability, gender, it's for everybody. Okay, so yeah, just going to speak to you for 10 minutes around the provider side of things. So at London Southbank University Group, we're formed as part of a dedicated team. We are located at the Passmore Centre on Borough Road. That centre is available for our employers and for our apprentices as well to use as a kind of central point. You can come down there and have any kind of employer meetings as well, and use it as a bit of a hub as well. I'm going to come on to it in a little bit in terms of our campuses as well and talk to you about that. We have around 2,500 apprentices currently at Southbank University. Additionally, we were awarded a silver rating in the Teaching Excellence Framework, which, you know, in layman's terms is very good. Okay, so you're approved by a good provider as well. Okay. Additionally, it's really important to mention we want to help improve lives of people, communities, and employers as well. And this specifically, this is really important for us at London Southbank University because we are based in Southwark. So these are local opportunities for us to support local residents and build the community, which is extremely important. In terms of the group, we're formed as part of about 4 different colleges. Okay, it's quite a large organisation. We're not just the university, but we're part of wider college groups as well. Okay, we've just 2 images on there. We've got our London Southbank Technical College, which is where if you're on some of the apprentices, if you apply for some of the apprenticeships that I'll talk to you about in a moment, you will be based at the new campus down in Nine Elms. New state-of-the-art equipment down there, new state-of-the-art facilities, which is quite special. You know, if you're applying for an apprenticeship and you're attending a university or college, it's quite nice that there's new equipment there, which is great. On the right-hand side, it's a bit of a dull day in that image, so I do apologise for finding a poor image. We do have our university campus in Southwark as well, which again has got new buildings going up there all the time. Like I feel like every time I walk around there, there's new facilities there, which is great. We've just had a £65 million investment into new facilities as well, so it's good to be part of that growing organisation as well. So for those of you that are unaware of what an apprenticeship actually is, because it can be quite a complicated process sometimes, but it's important to know that there's professionals like ourselves here to support you along that journey. It's essentially, you know, a real job experience with hands-on experience, a salary, which is always important. Good salary is what we've just discussed as well. Certainly competitive, over competitive, and a chance to train and gain qualifications whilst you work. So there's something tangible for you at the end of it. You have a bit of paper that says you can do something, which is going to support you within your career journey. Okay. You're treated just like any other employee, which is important to reference. You know, you've got a contract of employment, a salary, and holiday leave as well. People often ask what happens about holiday, what happens if I take time off. Treat it as if you're a normal employee within that employer, within that organisation. Okay. You're given real responsibilities, and like we heard from the team, you know, you're going to be a part of that team on site and learning on the job. In terms of the attendance throughout university and at college, okay, or at college, you will spend at least 6 hours per week, which is equivalent to around 1 day a week of your time completing what we call off-the-job training. Okay, like we said, this is often at college or university with ourselves. Okay, and that will be based on site within our new state-of-the-art campuses as well, which is great. Okay, and at the end of it, you will train to be fully competent within your role. Okay, so to be quite specific, okay, so you just heard from the team in terms of what the role is actually going to consist of, and there's lots of questions coming in, which is great, around entry requirements as well. And for those of you that are concerned in terms of actually I might already be qualified to these levels, we've got our contact details on the PowerPoint slides at the end, which you can take a photo of, get in contact with us, and we can look at what your current situation is. And there might be some apprenticeships out there that are to a higher level that you could engage in. Okay, additionally, I'm going off piece here a little bit, but it's important to mention, and I know Kerry's going to mention it as well, around just go onto the Gov website, and there's often loads of apprenticeships there at higher levels as well that you could apply for as well. So don't be too deterred if there's something on here that is not to your level at the moment. So in terms of the property maintenance, this comes in at level 2, as we mentioned. This apprenticeship is 12 months long plus endpoint assessment. At this point in time, it's worth me mentioning what EPA actually is. So EPA is an endpoint assessment which lasts approximately 3 months. Okay, so you would have already completed your work and your learning. You would have achieved the qualification, and then you have an endpoint assessment, essentially advise if you can, if you are competent within your role. Okay, endpoint assessments will differ in length and content depending on your apprenticeship. Okay, this will all be explained to you throughout your apprenticeship journey as well. In terms of the property maintenance, the entry requirements for that qualification, that apprenticeship, is level 1 in English and maths. Okay, so very minimal entry requirements within that apprenticeship. Moving on to the electrician, this is at level 3. Okay, slightly longer. This is a 3-year apprenticeship, including endpoint assessment as well, again within 3 months. The entry requirements for this, you must hold 5 GCSEs in equivalent subjects, so think about something practical. Okay, you must also hold maths, English and science, and then with the science it's and or a craft subject. So if you don't hold a science, you might hold graphic design, for example. Okay, that's a craft or practical subject. Okay. The apprenticeship plumber is at level 3. Again, lasts 3 years with endpoint assessment. This apprenticeship, you must have 5 GCSEs again in equivalent subjects, including maths and English. Okay. And then finally, the highest level qualification that we're offering here with Southwark Council is the Construction Quantity Surveying Technician Apprentice. This apprenticeship is the only apprenticeship here that will be based at the London South Bank University campus. The other 3 will be based at the 9 Elms Technical College, which is quite cool. This final apprenticeship is at level 4. It is 2 years long with endpoint assessment. Okay, and now obviously because it's a higher level, the entry requirements are a little bit more strict. So you must hold 5 GCSEs in equivalent subjects, including maths and English. Okay. Additionally, you must hold A levels to a DD or BTEC at PPP, which is pass. Okay. Ideally, it would be good for those A levels or BTECs to be in equivalent subjects. However, I'm going to go on to it in a moment. In fact, I'll go on to it now as we've gone past that slide. You know, if you don't necessarily meet the entry requirements from, you know, you might miss out of 1 or 2 grades here and there. Like we've heard from the team, it's extremely important for you to showcase your skills, qualities and abilities throughout your application. Okay. What we've done here is just highlight 5 skills that are transferable across all of the areas. Okay, and I spoke to the team earlier, and you know, traditionally on the face of it, you'd look at construction jobs to be a male trade, but that's not the case whatsoever. It's great to see that there's already 3 women within I think it was the electrician apprenticeship roles that are currently ongoing at the moment, which is great. But these 5 skills are going to be extremely important. Additionally, you're going to have loads of other skills and qualities as well to add to your application, but really focus on what you can give and what your personality is for the team to go through and shortlist your applications. Okay, positive attitude, commitment to work, desire to learn, practical solution focused, and professional communication. Okay, if you're kind of thinking I've not done any of these things, think about your time kind of you know back in school, what projects you might have had, you know, the stuff that you've done with your family, stuff you've done with your friends, stuff you've done in local councils or authorities, you know, or in the community. What have you done? You know, generally there is something that you can find. Additionally, within your apprenticeship experience, you get lots of other benefits, which are always good. You get, you know, like we said, a salary with full employee benefits. You get NUS student discount, which is always good. I think it's like 10% off ASOS at the moment. I saw there's loads of other restaurants and bars and lots and lots of stuff going on at the moment. Loads of discounts available. It's difficult to remember them all. Access to gym facilities as well, brand new gym facilities in September, which is worth mentioning, at discounted prices as well. Excellent locations again within Southwark. Those people that are residents of Southwark, you know, the kind of great connections that are around here. Those of you that are outside Southwark, you know, you've kind of got everything on your doorstep, which is great. I also mentioned earlier around we've just had a £65 million campus investment. I spoke about that quite a lot. If you do get an opportunity before making your application, even to go and view the campus, go away and have a little look at it. Just you can add a little bit of extra stuff to your application. 50 plus clubs and societies to join within the student union, get involved with research projects, and there's academics within the industry with first-hand knowledge as well to support you. Okay. 5 different topics you'll find on every course, which is worth mentioning. We're going into a green society at the moment. It's important that, you know, within all of your apprenticeships, that they will have a focus around sustainability, community health, digital innovation, social justice, and diversity as well. I think that's one of the main things that we can probably take away from this presentation, and all the professionals on this call have mentioned around all of those things. So little hint there to potentially include that within your applications as well. Okay, something we're very proud to be involved with. That's the end of my spiel. Please feel free to take a photo of this screen here if you've got any questions. We've got people monitoring all of these social media and emails at all times, so just give us a shout. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Someone will be on the end of it to answer it, and we'll be looking forward to welcoming your applications come through. Are there any questions now as well?
Okay, thanks, Charlie. That's great. Does anyone have any questions immediately for Charlie, or you can type into the chat again if you do. I think there's somebody there put their hand up, is there? Fatai.
Yeah, I'm actually I've got what's it called? A BTEC national in mechanical and mechanical engineering. Through college. And yeah, BTEC national diploma. Is that something that can be used for the quantity surveyor apprenticeship course?
Yeah, what
level I saw it as an
equivalent. Very noisy.
Yeah,
there.
that was level 3. Yeah, that was level 3. Sorry, we just finished work, so
it's okay.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, good question.
Yeah, it's level 3.
Yeah, no worries. Good question. As long as you meet the entry requirements as listed on the screen as well, okay. We generally, from a provider perspective, do accept equivalent subjects at level 3 national qualifications. So yes, generally we will. Again, it is also worth mentioning, if you actually are qualified to a too high a standard, then there might be other apprenticeships out there that could be more relevant as well to a higher level already. Like, for example, at Southwark University, we offer quantity surveying apprenticeships to level 6, which also shows good progression as well. So even if you went on to the level 4 and you complete that apprenticeship, you can then go on to the level 6 apprenticeship as well, which is great. But yeah, have a look, reference what qualifications you have, look at the actual application, go through that, and then go ahead and make the application. Then it will be up to the admissions team to then obviously ratify that and make an appropriate decision.
Yeah. Thank you. Fantastic. That's great.
You have to mute yourself, Fat Eyes. You've got too many noisy colleagues there. I hope that answered your question, but you can always come back to me or Kerry, and we can we can sort it out at a later date and find out a bit more about exactly what qualification you already have. Okay. Has anyone else got any more questions for Charlie before we finish up?
Is there a particular closing date?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're coming to that.
And how will that favour kids who are taking their exams at the moment, who might not have their results in time?
Yes, I believe that Kerry might cover that in the next slides.
Okay. So yeah, there is a closing date, and we're just about to talk about that. And rather disappointingly, Kerry and I don't have any slides, I'm afraid. But really, we just wanted to say that anybody who is considering applying, please do speak to Kerry or me or one of the team here at Southwark Works, and let's make sure that you're applying for the right apprenticeship at the right level for the qualifications that you've already got. We don't want anybody doing a long application and finding out that they're not actually eligible to apply because they haven't got the right qualification or skill. So, you know, let's make sure we iron out those problems first of all. The other thing is that we'll be running some sessions here for people to support them with their applications. I would say, just quickly on the qualifications to finish on that subject, is if you've got GCSEs and you know what grades you've got, or you've got a BTEC, or whatever it is you've got, you need the qualification. At some point you're going to have to, show it to somebody. So start digging them out now. Don't leave it till the last minute. Start looking for those certificates or whatever you've got. If you want to bring them in, we can copy them and scan them for you so that they don't get lost. We're very happy to do any of that stuff for you, but think about it now. And likewise, your CV. Make sure that you've got your most up-to-date CV available when you're going to do your application, because you need all that information to put in your work history into the application form. Okay, so start thinking about that now. And again, if you need help with that, we're here to help you. There's a whole team of people here that can help you with your CV and thinking about, the skills. And you've been given loads of information today about what the council and the LSBU are looking for. In terms of candidates, you've got the personal specification to look at, so it's just a case of matching all that up, and we can help you with that. Okay, so the first rule is never send off your application until somebody else has looked at it. So don't just go home now and think, right, I'll fill out the form and I'll send it off. Please don't do that. Let somebody have a look at it. Let me look at it, Kerry look at it, someone in the team, even if it's your parent or a friend or somebody in the industry. Let someone else look at the application first, because another pair of eyes is always good. And what we don't want you to do is submit an application too soon without really getting it to the most perfect state we can get it into before it goes off. Okay, so from next week, every Tuesday afternoon and every Wednesday morning, we're going to have drop-in sessions at Southwark. You can just come in, you can sit at a computer, and you can do your application, work on it for an hour, 2 hours, whatever you want to do. Someone here can look at it for you. We always suggest that you don't start typing into the application online. Put your answers to your questions into a Word document, which you can then send to us and we can look at any time. We're here. I just want to emphasize that we are here to help, and we want you to make the best application that you can possibly make. So please make use of the support that's on offer. Okay. And again, the third rule, after typing into a Word document, the third rule is don't send it off until someone else has looked at it. And it's also the first rule and the last rule. So the deadline to answer Michael's question is Monday, the 27th of June. Please do not leave it and think, oh, I'll do it that weekend then, and send it off on the Monday. Please don't do that, because something will always go wrong at the last minute. So please try and make sure you've completed it well and truly before then. We will run a session on that Monday for anybody that really is, desperately at the last minute still trying to fill it out. So you can pop in on that Monday to get some help with it. But really, we really want to get them sent off the week before that if we possibly can.
Michael mentioned about the predicted grades.
Oh, predicted grades, yeah. So you can put your predicted grades into your application. But, bear in mind at some point, someone is going to ask you the question, well, did you actually get that grade 4 in maths or English? So during the summer or in August, you're going to get your results. So you'll need to have them available. But yes, you can apply on predicted grades if you're just finishing your GCSEs now. Okay, so unless anyone has any final questions or anything that they want to ask about the application process, or people I'm assuming know where we are and where to come, and somebody there?
I'll go and be on the Southwark's website. Yeah.
So, the application is going to be on the Southwark's website. So all of the job descriptions and the person specs are on our website. The application is on Southwark Council's website, so you need to go on the council website. But Albert, if you come to the office and see us next week, either Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning, we can show you exactly where it is and what you need to do. On the questions that need to be answered. You need your CV, and your education and qualification details, and we can go from there. You can do part of the application, save it, and then go back to it later at a later date. You don't have to do it all in one session. So, you can take it bit by bit and just do a couple of questions a day if you like, and then get those right, and then move on to the next one. So hopefully we will see some of you next week. Thanks to everybody for logging in today. Thanks to Siobhan, Adam and Charlie for being here to tell you all about the opportunities, and hopefully we'll get some very good applications into you in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Very informative.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jane.
Have a good afternoon, everyone.
Bye.